Welcome dear students to my fourth lecture of Principles of Electronic Communication. In the first three sessions we have seen curriculum of Principles of Electronic Communication. In second session we have seen that how basic electronic communication is possible with the help of transmitters and receivers, and in the third session we have seen how transmitter is transmitting the signal and how it is going to be propagated through the channel and how it is going to be decoded in the receiving side. In this session we are focusing on one new entity, that is noise. Noise is very interesting parameter in electronic communication because it deals with our information signal. When we transmit our speech or video, at that time some external signals can interfere into our signal and they destroy or they disturb our information signal, and that signal is called as a noise. It is obviously unwanted signal and it destructs our information signal. That's why when we receive our signal at the receiving end, that signal is contaminated with some unwanted signal or unwanted noise, that is unwanted electrical signal. It is called as a noise. So one by one I am going to focus on the definition of noise. Then we are going to see the types of the noise, that is an external noise and an internal noise. Then we focus on the types of external noises and the types of internal noises. So we start the session with the definition of the noise. Definition is: noise is an unwanted, it is not wanted entity, it is unwanted entity, because wanted entity is modulating signal, information signal or baseband signal. So noise is an unwanted electrical disturbance. Electrical disturbance, instead of disturbance you can also use the word signal. So noise is an unwanted electrical disturbance or signal which gives rise to audible or visual disturbances. Audible disturbances means it is disturbing to the voice, it is disturbing to the speech, or visual disturbances, it is disturbing to the images, those picked up from the camera, or it is image or it is visual disturbances, that is in videos in communication system. So this is very simple definition, that noise is also electrical signal and it is not wanted signal, it is unwanted signal or unwanted disturbance. And which data it is affecting? It is affecting audible data or it is affecting visual data in communication system. So this is very simple definition of noise. Now for example, if one information signal is considered with respect to the time, and this is variation in the amplitude. If this signal is transmitting through the medium and some external signal like such kind of the signal is trying to mix up with our information signal, this is not wanted signal, this is not wanted signal, this is electrical signal. So such kind of the signal can be mixed with our information signal and it deviates or it disturbs our information signal. So such kind of the signal, when it is received at receiver end, then it is difficult for this receiver to decode this information. Okay, you can take the screenshot of this image so that it is easy to remember you to clear up the concept of noise. See, types of noise. There are two primary types of noise. First one is external noise and second one is internal noise. Now as the name indicates, external and internal, the meaning of external is that the signal which is coming outside source, that is called as an external noise. If our medium is cable, if this is a cable and if signal is propagating through this cable, and if some another signal is coming from some other source within this cable, then you can say that the external electrical signal which is not wanted, which is unwanted electrical signal, that is called as an external noise, which is affecting our information signal. But if within this cable, if due to the electronic circuit or electronic component like diode, transistor or coils or capacitor, if the noise is generated because of those electronic components or electronic circuits, then that kind of the noise is called as an internal noise, because that circuit which is playing some role inside the communication system, that circuit itself is generating some noise and it is affecting the information signal. In that case, we can say that it is an internal noise. So these are the two primary types, external noise and the internal noise. As per external is concerned, there are three major types. First one is atmospheric noise, second one is extraterrestrial noise, and third one is man-made noise. So we are going to see these three when we are only enlisting the types of noises for external and internal. So atmospheric noise, extraterrestrial noise and man-made noise, these are the subtypes of external noise. And in internal noise, there are major 5 types. First one is short noise due to the electronic circuits, or transit time noise, thermal noise, flicker noise and partition noise. In diploma level, in second year level, it is quite difficult to take the analysis of mathematical analysis of such kind of the noise. Hence we don't have that much scope of analytics as per noise is concerned in this curriculum. But when you go into the undergraduate courses like BE Electronics and Telecommunication, in that course you will get much more knowledge about the analytics also, and circuit on the circuit level also you will get much more knowledge about these noises. But as per this curriculum is concerned in diploma level, you have only you should be known that these are the external noises, these are the internal noises. Now you can take the screenshot of this board so that it is quite easy for you to remember the types of the noises. Now we will see external noise. The first type is atmospheric. Noise, atmospheric noise. Now you assume that this is Earth's surface, this is Earth's surface, and on Earth's surface at the time of lightning, in the rainy season, frequently you observe the lightnings. So when those lightnings occurred, at that time the noise which is generated because of these lightnings can be interfere into some information signals, and that lightning's noise can be treated as an atmospheric noise. Or due to the temperature changes also, some of the changes we can observe in atmosphere, and because of that atmospheric noise can be added into our information signal while transmitting. As per atmospheric noise is concerned, its frequency range is up to the 30 megahertz, and beyond 30 megahertz of the range it is not affecting much more for our information signals, or you can say that there is no atmospheric noise present into the atmosphere above 30 megahertz. So this is a band of atmospheric noise up to the 30 megahertz, and it is generally the result of atmospheric changes or lightning in the rainy season. Especially this noise is added into our information signal. Second noise is cosmic noise. Cosmic noise. As per this noise is concerned, if this is our Earth and the noise which is coming from nearby planets, for example Moon or Jupiter, the noise which is coming from the planets and the noise which is coming from stars, because of their physical processes happening day to day, they are radiating some signals or electromagnetic waves, and those electromagnetic waves continuously coming towards the Earth, and because of that our information signal may get affected while transmitting. When satellites are transmitting to the Earth stations, at that time these signals can be overlapped with our information signal. So the signals coming from the stars and nearby planets, it might affect our information signal, and that's why it is called as a cosmic noise. Now sun is also the major source of cosmic noise, because it is also radiating, it is also continuously radiating the signals, not signals but photons or the wave electromagnetic signals, and those are coming towards the Earth daily with high intensity as compared to the stars, because this is also one of the star. Hence the signal which are coming towards the Earth, they can also hamper our information signals. So such kind of the noise is treated as a cosmic noise. Noise which is coming from sun, noise which is coming from planets, and noise which is coming from stars, it is treated as a cosmic noise. Third type of the noise is, this is also one of the external noise, that is man-made noise. Man-made noise. Man-made noise means man has invented so many generating instruments like motors, generators, earth movers, isn't it? Or diggers, earth diggers, for example, you can say. So these are some of the instruments, those manufactured by the human itself. When motors is rotating, if motor is rotating, if fan is rotating, you can say, you can listen the voice or sound, that is treated as a noise, because it doesn't carry any information. So when motor is rotating, it also generates some noise. Similarly, when generator is rotating, because of the water is falling on the generator and generator is rotating and generating some electrical energy, so that generator is also generating something which is treated as a noise. Earth movers, like JCBs is moving, or trucks are moving on the road, or huge vehicles are running on the road, so those because of their weight, they can generate the noise. And earth diggers, when we are digging the earth, when we are digging a land, particular land, so in that case, because of the vibrations of those digger, the electrical signal is generating, and that can affect our information signal. So these are the three main types of external, that is first one is atmospheric noise, second one is cosmic noise, and third one is man-made noise. As per internal noises are concerned, those produced because of the transistor or diodes or coil or capacitor, those noises are not in our syllabus. That's why you can only learn these types with their basic description, and there is no need to go in details of analytics with respect to the internal noises. So we will see the next topic, that is a signal to noise ratio, because it is one of the primary performance parameter for any communication system. When we are transmitting our signal, at that time it is not going to receive with a proper intensity. Its intensity is fading. Its intensity of information is also degrading when it is propagating through channel. Because you can take one example, that if you are go for jogging in the morning, and you start jogging, for example, and you set this timer for first 5 minutes. You take the speed of 30 kilometers per hour. After 5 minutes again you continue with that 30 kilometers per hour. For next 5 minutes your speed is going to be degraded. It might be changes from 30 kilometers per hour to the 25 kilometers per hour. If you again continue jogging or running for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so you observe that your speed is degrading time to time. So it might be 10 kilometers per hour. So at the starting of your jogging or running, your speed is 30 kilometers per hour, and after 25 minutes it reaches to the 10 kilometers per hour. So this is called as a fading in yourself, that your energy is fading, and that's why your speed is degrading. So similar to this example, this is an analogous example. Similarly, when signal is propagating, it is propagating with full intensity, but when it is propagating for longer distances, its intensity, its voltage, its power is going to be degraded. That is called as a fading. So when we receive the signal at the receiving end, which is far away from the transmitter side, that signal is degraded in a power, and that's why we must use one performance parameter, that is a signal to noise ratio. So that ratio gives us the information that how much noise is affecting our information signal and how much signal is degraded. So we will see signal to noise ratio just after this topic. Signal to noise ratio. This is our next topic. It is also having abbreviation signal to noise ratio, SNR. Now, as its name indicates, the definition of signal to noise ratio, that is SNR, is equal to signal power divided by noise power. Means it is a ratio. The ratio means it is a ratio of signal power to the noise power. Means it is a division. It is a division of signal power to the noise power. So here we can write down PS is a signal power and PN as a noise power. Signal power and noise power. So the ratio of signal power to noise power, it is treated as a SNR. Obviously, you can, as a common sense, you can say that when signal power is much more as compared to the noise power, it means it is good for our communication system to decode our information signal. Okay. Now, signal to noise ratio. It is a ratio of two powers. Hence, there is no unit at all. But though this signal to noise ratio is defined by one unit, that is a decibel unit. Decibel. So you can write it down decibel in this way, dB, decibel. And you can define this signal to noise ratio in terms of decibel like this. Signal to noise ratio is 10 logarithmic to the base 10 signal power to the noise power. Okay. So this is the formula for signal to noise ratio. 10 multiplied by logarithmic to the base 10 signal power to the noise power. Now as we have written signal to noise ratio like this, 10 logarithmic to the base 10 signal power to the noise power. Here we can define signal like this: voltage square divided by resistance. Power is equal to voltage square divided by resistance. This is the fundamental formula, because power you can define like current multiplied by voltage, isn't it? And current you can define like voltage divided by resistance multiplied by voltage. Hence you can write down V square divided by R. And if voltage is representing the signal, then it is signal voltage square divided by resistance. Similarly, for noise you can write down noise voltage square divided by resistance. So this way you can define signal power in terms of signal voltage, you can define noise power in terms of noise voltage. If you put these values in this equation, what do you get? You get like this. कट कर actually ते माझं duster. So when we put signal power into this equation and noise power into this equation, what do we get? Ten multiplied by logarithmic to the base 10 Vs square divided by resistance divided by noise voltage square divided by resistance. Okay. Now resistance and resistance vanish. Here you can write down in terms of 10 logarithmic of 10 signal voltage divided by noise voltage square. Okay. And when these two taken as a multiplier, this complete equation of signal to noise ratio can be written like this: 20 logarithmic to the base 10 signal voltage divided by noise voltage. Okay, this is also in terms of dB. dB is in, so this is equation of signal to noise ratio in terms of voltages, and this is the equation of signal to noise in terms of power. Okay, so in this lecture we have seen the definition of the noise, then we have seen the types of the noise, that is an external noise and internal noise. In external noise we have seen atmospheric, cosmic and man-made noise. In internal we have seen, means only we have enlisted short noise, thermal noise, flicker noise. Okay, and then we have seen signal to noise ratio. This is a new performance parameter for you for communication systems. It can be defined in the unit decibel, and it can be defined in terms of power and in terms of voltage, in terms of signal voltage. So in next session we will see the types of the communication systems, simplex and duplex. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.